Hello, welcome once again to today's presentation. This is Dedication Thursday. The previous Dedication Thursday, we looked at episode 9A, and we were looking at the issue of breakup, common reactions when a breakup occurs. We also saw the processes or the grief processes, grief stages, what happens when a breakup occurs. Now, in Dedication Thursday today, we are going to consider part 9B, that says ending healthy, how to end up a relationship healthy, and of course, how to cope with a relationship breakup. Welcome. What happens if your relationship is unhealthy or abusive? What should you do? Should you still stick there? If it is abusive, it is unhealthy, what should you do? And actually, how do you cope when a breakup happens? So today, I want to welcome you in a very, very special way, ending a relationship in a healthy way. Now, I want to give you around 4 ways of ending a relationship in a healthy way. But just note this, I'm not presenting this so that you can be able to end your relationships. Remember, what we are saying is, if you are in an unhealthy relationship, a relationship which is not healthy, a relationship which is abusive, and you want to end it, how do you go about it? Or if you are not seeing any future with the person that you are courting or dating, and you want it to end without causing any harm to the other person or to yourself, then these are the ways. Now, this could not be the only way. I know researchers are out there and they might have presented many other ways of ending healthy, but I want to listen to the following 5 ways of ending a relationship healthy. So number one, you need to make the decision to end the relationship. Make up your mind. After looking at the positive and the negative, what you can be able to accommodate and what you cannot be able to accommodate in that relationship, then you need to make up your decision to end the relationship. Number two, and very important, choose the time and place. Choose the time and place of ending the relationship, especially if it is not a distance or long distance relationship. Now, what would be a good time or a place? And how will the time and place change if you think the other person will be upset? You need to consider that. Choose the time and place. Number three, explain the reason to them. Whoever you want to break up with or from, you need to explain the reason. Do not ignore. This is somebody whom you valued. This is somebody whom you shared at least something. You had a bond, however little it is. Don't take it for granted. Explain the reasons to them. Number four, prepare for uncomfortable feelings. Prepare for uncomfortable feelings. And that is what we looked at in part 9, episode 9, part A. If you missed it, you can still check in the description of this particular presentation. I've put a link that can guide you to presentation 9A. Number five, you need to get support from others. Very important. Reason why youth and young people kill themselves is because they lack support systems, especially when there is a relationship breakup. Now, you need to seek support from others. You need to seek support from others. Reason being, it is a painful thing, just like we saw in the feelings or the reactions and the common experiences, encounters you might not be able to handle. If you don't have enough shock absorbers, please, you need to seek support from trusted people. After saying that, I want us to go to the question, how do you cope healthy? How do you cope when a relationship ends? How do you cope? Number one, this is how to cope. Number one, accept painful feelings. Yes, the feelings, especially depending on how closer or how much you had bonded, then pain will come in. You need to accept it. The intensity will subdue over time. Experiencing such overwhelming feelings does not mean that the relationship should not have ended. It is normal that you grieve for the good things in the relationship. Very important. Number two, gain support from others. Gain support from others. Surround yourself with non-judgmental family and friends with whom you can freely express your feelings. You need to gain support from others. We have said that. Number three, how to cope with a breakup. Try to understand the reasons for the relationship breakdown. Very important. You need to understand. If you have questions regarding the reasons for the breakup, or you feel that you need to directly communicate significant thoughts or feelings which are preventing you from moving forward, it may be helpful to you to arrange a meeting with your ex-partner. This is not, however, always possible or appropriate, particularly if the relationship was emotionally or physically abusive. An alternative can involve either communicating through emails, letters, or calls. So, depending on how abusive or the magnitude of the abuse in your relationship for you to break, then you need to try and understand the reasons very, very well. Another point is trying to make sense of a relationship breakdown can be confronting. You need to know this. It can be very confronting when you want to to make sense of the relationship breakdown. This can be a time for self-evaluation, which may be challenging. Understanding the causes of the relationship breakup can prevent similar mistakes with a future relationship. In case after one breakup you will need to continue or to move on, then it's good for you to understand the causes of the breakup of the relationship, current breakup of or the relationship. Another point is avoid regular contact with your ex-partner. Very well. Avoid regular contact with your ex-partner. This can just prolong the pain and delay the healing process. If you decide to contact, first give yourself time for the painful feeling to subside. I've heard of people who they still want to keep on contact. But however, if the pain in you has not subsided, then you need to give yourself time. Another point is reduce your expectations. Very important. After a breakup, reduce your expectation. Accept that you may not be able to function at your best, but remind yourself that this will be temporary. It is not a permanent thing. Remember, we started and saying you are not the first one to go through a breakup. Neither are you going to be the last one. The other point is try to avoid beginning a new relationship while you are still grieving from the past relationship. And this is where many people fall. You come up from a breakup and immediately you want to move on to another one. Research has shown that such a relationship, you'll always try to pull the other partner to where you were with the previous or with the ex. And so you realize you'll not have covered or studied more about this new partner. Unresolved issues from the former relationship can adversely affect the new one. Making decisions about the stability of a new partner can also be problematic at this time, as you are likely to make your decision in terms of what was lacking in the past relationship rather than all the characteristics of the new relationship. So you need to give yourself time. Now you need to get a better place and getting in touch with yourself again. Now listen to this. You need to get in touch with yourself again for you to cope. You need to invest time in the things that make you happy. Very important. It could be your hobbies, your work, your friends, your family, exercise, spirituality, you can name it. Having said that, there are people who cope in a wrong way or problematic coping strategies. I want to mention around 6 problematic coping strategies which you should avoid when there is a breakup. Problematic coping strategies number 1 is new partner. We have said it. Problematic number 2 is drinking. There are people who have gone to alcoholism because of a breakup. Drugs, problematic way. People have gone up to drugs abuse. You need to avoid that. Another problematic way of coping is pornography. There are people who have shifted their mind to pornography just to cope with the breakup. With all those fantasizing, it is problematic, it is not safe for you. Another, number 5, problematic coping strategy is gambling. Gambling. This is not the time to go into gambling because it will also involve you. There are consequences for gambling. And the last one is any addiction. Any addiction. Any addiction. Now, I know there are those who are viewing and they are students. I want to tell you just 4 things. If at all you are a student and there is a breakup, that's not the end of your studies. How do you cope with your studies considering that you have gone through a breakup or relationship breakup? So number 1, you need to maintain your attendance at lectures, labs, and tutorials. Skipping classes will only cause you to feel worse. Number 2, allow for a reduced ability to concentrate and loss of motivation by giving yourself lots of breaks when doing assignment. So don't find yourself too much into the laboratory or into the lab, into the library, and not giving yourself a break. You need to have some breaks. Number 3, take extended breaks by exercising and involving yourself in interest and hobbies as much as possible. Even if they are not as enjoyable as before, you need to do that. Exercise. Find time to have breaks for yourself. And the last thing is discuss your study with other students. Apart from assisting you academically, it will improve motivation. Now, that is just in case for those who are students and they are facing a breakup. Now, experience is not always pretty, but it's sometimes necessary. You need to value the experience. Experience is what you get when you did not get what you wanted. You did not get this partner. So that is an experience. That's what you wanted. You did not get her, you did not get him. So that experience, you need to value it. Now ask yourself this: what are some of the things that you learned from the previous person or from the ex? What are some new insights that you can bring to a future relationship? What are things that you want to look for in a future relationship? Now, experience will be able to guide you. Another thing is opportunities. There are always other fish in the sea. I've heard of people who break up and they say to hell with the relationship. Actually, they decide to remain single forever. I'm not talking about divorcee, those who have divorced or those who have separated. This presentation is specifically addressing those who are still not yet married. When one door closes, another one opens. Life's up and down provide windows of opportunity to determine your value and goals. Thinking of using all obstacles as stepping stones to build the life you want, according to Marcia Senator. And another writer says this, Brian Koslow says, the freedom to move forward to new opportunities and to produce results comes from living in the present and not in the past. Look for other opportunities. And for me to close this presentation, I want to say this: breakups are inevitable and a part of life. There is a process that people go through in breaking up. People need resources to help them through the stress of a breakup. In case you're going through stress because of a breakup, I also want to invite you in the description part of my presentation. I have put a presentation about stress management, how to handle stress in a healthy way. You can just click and listen to it. There are things that impair a person's ability to get through a breakup. There are things to learn from a breakup. A breakup can lead to better things. You need to understand that. Now, having said that, I just want to say this, that remember, there are always resources out there for your help. For instance, you can seek counseling services. For those who are students, most of the schools, most of the institutions have counseling centers. You can seek that. Telecounseling or face-to-face therapy. You can also find help from trusted friends. And as well as reading books. There are books out there, and I want to just share with you at least one of it. It says When Your Relationship Ends by Bruce Fisher and Robert Albert, 2005. You can search for that book, it will help you. Another book that you can be able to look out for is Women and Separation. Women and Separation. Family and Marriage. Women and Separation and Man and Separation, 2003. You can get this from the site www.relationships.com.au. I've also included this in my description. You can be able to visit and see where to get resources that will help you much more to remain strong. But I also want to say this, you can be able to learn more from my marriage and family playlist, because I've touched on elements revolving family, marriage. And in season 2 of my family and marriage playlist, we'll be looking at those who want to get married, the singles. We'll be looking at single parenting, we'll be looking at how to get a soulmate and all those presentations. So you can simply visit my YouTube channel, that is PST Pastor Counselor CNSLR Omari _neighbor. Then subscribe, you'll be able to catch up with many other presentations. For now, may the good Lord keep you safe. And in case there is a breakup, please don't finish yourself. It is not healthy. There is other chances ahead. So be strong and move on. Stay strong, stay safe. In case of anything, feel free to seek any kind of help, especially psychosocial support, psychological support, and may the good Lord bless you. Thank you. See you in another episode.